dark.
Wait, so was she the Slenderwoman who lived in the attic?
The slender woman that lived in the slender attic?
Yeah.
Because of the slender door. God. That was so awful. But she wasn't smiling in the picture.
That's creepy.
Yeah, kind of. So a little bit of a side note for this house. We constantly get bats. We would just constantly get bats in there.
I hate that.
Like almost every morning I was waking up and finding a bat flying around in my room, and it scared the crap out of me.
It's gross.
So, I now have a huge fear of bats because of that.
That's super fun. That's super fun.
I would literally just hide under the blanket and scream. Like, my parents would be like, having my sister, like, yell at her to come out of the room so they can deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't get up. I was just paralyzed with fear.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun. I had a lot of nightmares in this house.
Okay.
A lot of them.
That's fun.
Yeah. Super fun at 6. Especially when you're constantly getting up at like 2 in the morning and like going and getting mom and dad. And you're like...
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like nightmares that wake you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, same.
I'm not okay with that.
If they wake me up in the morning, like, I'm less freaked out by that.
But waking up in the middle of the night makes me think that, like, there's something that's causing me to have a nightmare, and that makes me uncomfy.
So you ready to hear about one of my earliest nightmares that I've ever, like, I remember?
I'm so excited.
This is so thrilling. So, one of my earliest nightmares was that, so the house in this nightmare had caught on fire.
Okay.
And my sister and I were the only ones that actually got out.
Oh.
Yeah. And the only reason that my sister got out is because we shared a room and I grabbed her arm and I ran out.
Okay.
Jesus. So that's...
That's a lot. For a 6-year-old, especially.
And all I remember during this nightmare was literally just standing on the outside of the house, holding my sister's hand, and, like, having, like, that, third person kind of experience where you're, like, seeing yourself and then, like, everything else happening from a distance. And we were just standing there watching it burn.
Oh,
and there was a lot of fire.
Okay.
It had, like, engulfed the house.
Oh, that's fun.
And, yeah. It was thrilling.
That is a lot.
Since this house was, like...
Okay.
Let's change the topic when we're on this super dark-ass
experience. Yeah, for sure.
Also, I don't know if my mom remembers me telling her about that nightmare, so that's fun. So I did actually end up telling them. Because that was one of the nightmares I had, like, woke me up in the middle of the night.
Right.
And so I told them about my nightmare, and after that, ironically enough, it was also the same time, like right after that nightmare, like a week after or something, we started doing fire drills in school.
Okay.
Conveniently enough.
Yeah. So that probably, like...
Pretty sus.
Probably, traumatized you.
I mean,
so,
no,
okay.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
I probably started with my anxiety then.
Oh, yeah,
That's
probably.
probably when it just dug its claws into my body and never let go.
It was just like...
I'm here, bitch, for life.
Yeah. You're stuck with me.
But anyways, I told my parents about the nightmare, and my parents decided, hey, we live in a really big wooden house. You know, the possibilities, because like when you're 6, you ask like a million fucking questions.
Right, yeah.
Like, why is this gonna happen? Why is this gonna happen? How could this happen? Like,
right.
And I was that kid, and I was always asking my mom and dad, I'm like, well, sorry, my distraction.
Yeah.
I was always asking him, like, what do we do if the house catches on fire? Because, like, that nightmare obviously got me a bit anxious.
Right, for sure.
And my parents, like, had developed, like, a fire drill for the house. For, like, me and Emily to, like, practice. And so we would practice this fire drill, like, pretty often. And I can still remember it.
That's actually kind of, it's funny, but also it's sad, because that's, like, traumatizing.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's funny that your dad didn't have a fire drill in place before, because he's very, like, marine.
Oh, yeah, but that was the perfect opportunity for him to go hammer.
Oh, yeah, he was just like, oh, heck yeah, this is my jam.
So ready.
He was like, I got this, I got you.
So, a little later on living there, I started hearing footsteps downstairs in the middle of the night. Remember those nightmares that would wake me up in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
It would be the nightmare waking me up, and then I would sit there trying to fall back asleep after a nightmare, which doesn't ever work. And then I would just constantly hear footsteps downstairs.
Nope, I'm good. I am peachy keen.
I would, like, there was one time specifically I remember, I got up and I went and opened my parents' door, like, hearing footsteps, and I wanted to see if they were still in bed, and they were.
I don't like that. Also,
And I
I
freaked
didn't,
out.
yeah, when he was running, that scared me too.
But, yeah, no, hearing the footsteps downstairs, it super freaked me out as a kid.
Yes, definitely.
And you wanna...
Yep. Oh no.
So, it was really, really weird to me that, like, all of that was happening, like, being 6 years old, because I was raised in a very Christian household.
Right, yeah.
And we literally lived right next to a Catholic church. So I was like...
So you
I had a
assumed that
concept
you're...
that I was safe.
Safe, yeah.
Yeah, I had assumed, oh, I'm gonna be totally safe. Like, we're right next to, like...
A church.
And they get rid of what I would assume at 6-year-old was, like, demons.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff wouldn't be in my house.
Right.
Especially with how Christian we were.
Yeah, and, like, you just, like, especially as a kid, you just automatically assume that you're safe whenever you grow up, or, like, in a religious setting like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. I'm so trying right now. Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, there was one other thing that had happened, because my memory is very, very vague on this.
Yes.
There was one night, and I remember that I was literally laying on my left side in the bed, and
So you were facing away from the door?
I was facing the door.
Oh, you're facing the door,
and the
okay.
wall. Like, the wall and then
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I was facing the wall, like, sleeping. Or not sleeping exactly, but I was trying to go to sleep.
Right.
And I think that this was, like, right before me and Emily had fallen asleep. I think Emily was completely out.
Right.
But the literal door opened.
Okay.
The bedroom door literally just creaked open.
Okay.
All the way open.
I don't like that.
Not just a touch, like a breeze. All the way open.
Was it completely shut? Like, did the
Yes.
doorknob turn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. Nope. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't like that.
So yeah, that was my first ever paranormal experience in life.
I hate that so much.
I have quite a few more. So if you want to hear more about my sus-ass life, stay tuned for many more episodes.
Yeah.
I really love telling these stories. I love it.
And we'll probably throw some traumatic jokes in there as well.
Absolutely. Especially when you have a super strict Christian household. Gotta love that trauma.
And, okay. This is not, this is not me saying anything against people who are religious or Christian. This is her upbringing. You were in a cult.
Yeah.
Like, you were actually in a cult that was ran by
I have met nice
family
Christians.
people.
Yes. I have met nice Christians. I have been to churches after my quote cult.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them were ever like the one that I was literally raised in. And there is a huge difference between a church and a cult. That is what I have to say on it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next topic.
Fun detour.
Okay. So these are 5 little short stories, and they're all about witches or like either why they were accused. It's literally they're like a few sentences long. Mm-hmm. They're each like a paragraph.
I'm excited.
I
love witches.
And I did actually write the source for this one down, or type it out. It is theoccultmuseum.com. And like the title for it or whatever is 5 legendary witches' graves and the sinister stories behind them. And I don't know what this is, but this basically just says bury them deep and bury them good, lest the witches rise anew. And that was just kind of weird to me. Anyways, we keep getting distracted. We're great at this.
Oh yes.
So.
Oopsie.
Is that your cup? Oh, it's your phone. Okay. So witches have been like a big part of the world for like forever almost. And so many people were unjustly and so horribly accused and sentenced as a witch. As, i.e. the Salem witch trials.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of those people were just people who were just wrongly accused of something they didn't do and then sentenced for that same thing.
Yeah. Like if they were unexplainably, too beautiful and, their
if they were
absolute trash.
If they were too beautiful, or if they didn't believe in certain religions, or if
they could do something a man could do.
Yes, that was actually a big one too. Which is rather unfortunate.
Very.
But during, the whole witch hunt craze thing, which, by the way, began in the 15th century. I didn't know that. I didn't know exactly when it started in the 15th century, and it lasted up to the 17th century. 2 entire centuries.
That's a lot.
Which is insane to me. It's estimated to about 40,000 people were thought to have been executed in witchcraft just in Western Europe. 40,000 people in just Western Europe.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. In America, the hunt spread through all of the colonial colonies, New England and Connecticut, New Haven, and obviously it ended up going to the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts. Fun fact, the most common methods of execution for someone who is convicted in witchcraft is hanging, drowning, or being burned at the stake.
Oh yeah, burned at the stake is
the biggest one.
But
that, they did hanging and they did drowning actually too.
That's fun.
Yeah, not at all fucked up in any way, shape, or form.
So I just want to assume drowning, they just probably tie something heavy to their foot and throw them.
I mean, maybe, but also there were ones where they actually stuck their head in things and actually forcefully drowned them by hand. There were quite a few of those.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. There were people who actually just became murderers in this. I for sure believe that a lot of the Salem witch trials was just psychos that were locked up, got to have fun.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what it was, and that's really depressing. But a lot of actual, witch hunt victims to, like, their graves and just who they were in general. They kind of were just, like, lost